live. Hello to the peoples.
Oh shit! Right, it was a very high octane moment. We had to go.
Yes, we are in fact running for our lives. They outsmarted our outsmarting. Surprise.
Nah, Archer'd win.
I mean, yeah. He, in fact, did just say, I mean, I know Saber, she's supposed to be the strongest and everything, but she ain't built like this. Watch me work.
Would you like a funny fact?
Okay.
If I remember right. Okay. So in Japanese,
Uh-huh.
Archer shares a voice actor with Sukuna.
Yes.
In English, he shares a voice actor with Gojo. So,
Yes. Yes.
this is very applicable, actually.
Really said, nah, I'd win.
We should continue now.
And we'll leave it at that. Because there are anime only people probably watching stream. Oh. So we hurry through the long hallway and out through the gates. Hard as it is to believe, we were really in a whole dang castle. And an old one at that, hidden deep in the forest. The whole place is surrounded by trees as far as one can see. I can't see any buildings, or even the sky in the distance. Ah, dang, that's some thick tree cover.
こっちよ。3時間もすれば国道に出られるから、それまで走って。
Oh, right.
Running for 3 hours. Are you kidding me?
Reminds me of this post that I ran across on Twitter where it's like, man, Yosuke really is built different. So talking about the scene in Yu Yu Hakusho, where he is having to follow these guys, and he's like, they're running, and it's like, all right, how you doing back there? We've only got like 3 more days to go. And it's like, huh? We're gonna be running for 3 days straight. And so they did. Three hours. Honestly, I'm not sure I'll last that long. And that's not even counting the fact that once they reach the main road, they still gotta keep running all the way back to town.
Like a do catch a taxi?
I don't think they're gonna catch a taxi out this far.
Not at this hour.
Yeah, and Uber wasn't a thing just yet.
Oh yeah, sure. Let me just call up my Uber and tell him, yeah, no, meet me outside the forest. As if that's not a crime scene waiting to happen. Bet your ass Raj is gonna be like, nah, bro. Not even my people take a job like that.
Dang. I'm not tired, but the pain gets worse with every step. If I could at least rest, my fever might break, but we don't have time for that.
シロ、早く。
Woman, what do you think I'm doing?
I mean, you're not doing enough. And that's what she said. So Sokka sounds every bit as hurried. She'd given Archer his orders. As composed as she looked, I can see the regret weighing on her. Wow, not even a shred of faith in him.
はい。急ぎましょう、シロ。
Saber's eyes are downcast, but she breaks into a run with us. Something. Are we about to get to the scene from the opening? So I guess that was daytime. not quite the middle of the night. So, probably close, but not quite yet. We follow Tosaka as she slips between the trees. Saber's breath rattles loudly in her chest as she runs beside me. It's too dark for me to see clearly, but I can tell she's struggling. I can't ignore it any longer. Saber loses her balance. I sweep in from the side and take hold of her before she hits the ground. And that's funny coming from the man that's barely holding on himself.
何を言うのですシロ。この程度の苦境、今まで何度も経験してきました。私はまだ十分に走れます。
何言ってんだ。何度経験していようが苦しいものは苦しいだろう。いいから少しは弱音を吐けってんだ。
I guess pot calling kettle black. I pull her arm. Saber hardly weighs anything anyway. Yeah, you right. Oh, being a spirit, you see. I gather her effortlessly into my arms.
何をするのですシロ。
That's right. She's usually KO'd whenever this happens.
何ってしばらく休んでろ。そんな顔で走られてちゃこっちが先に参っちまう。
ブレーナ、話しなさい。この程度で私が倒れるとでも思っているのですか。
Saber struggles in my arms, but her resistance is weak. Her thin arms have no real strength in them as she pushes at my chest. Pains me to see that that's how weak she's gotten. Never imagined Saber could be too weak to push away from someone picking her up.
何を考えているのですかシロ。このようなこと、いくらマスターといえど許しません。
Hey, I know it's life or death right now, but my goodness.
Right?
If only this is 2004. If only he had a Polaroid right now.
Right. Saber struggles against me, her face beet red. I can't really blame her though. This must be a terribly embarrassing position for a knight to be in. But now isn't the time to worry about that.
嘘つけ。俺を振りほどけないぐらい弱ってるくせに大丈夫なわけがないだろう。それでも効かないって言うならレージを使うしかなくなるぞ。
My brother in God, you have one left.
卑怯な。
あ
こんなことでレイジを使うなど、そんな無意を容認できるはずがない。
Does he?
Wait, he has two left.
Yeah, because it was only the one whenever he summoned her at the school.
I misremembered the route we were on.
Oh, okay.
ならおとなしくしてろ。急がないと遠坂に置いていかれる。
Saber must have given up as she reluctantly falls silent. That's good enough for now. As long as she's not struggling, I can carry her and run at the same time. Oh no. Spots burst across my vision. As I run, my blood pumps faster. I mean, yeah, that's just how running works.
But if motherfucker's seeing stars, he's dehydrated.
True. I try to fight down the nausea burning at the back of my throat, gritting my teeth with every step.
As a thirsty gasp.
Mm-hmm. My breathing is erratic, but I do all that I can to hold the pain at bay. there's a reason for that.
シロ下ろしてください。やはり私も走りますから。
The moment she sees me struggling, Saber looks up at me, concerned. I can't stop now.
甘く見るな。セイバー一人どうってことないぞ。壊れたストーブに比べれば女の子一人分なんて空気みたいなもんだ。
Yeah, I guess.
She is like 5 foot flat, remember?
True.
I know she's more than 99 pounds, but I know there's someone else about her stature who is 99 pounds, so take with that what you will.
Yeah.
ですが、
いいから黙っててくれ。ギブアンドテイクって言葉知ってるか？今まで助けてもらったんだから、これぐらいしないと釣り合わないんだよ。ここらで借りを返しておかないと、明日から守ってもらえないだろ。
Well, there you go. Look at that. He accepts the fact that she will come in clutch tomorrow.
ないのですが、私の方こそこれでは釣り合いが取れなくなる。
そりゃよかった。じゃ、きついのは今回限りだな。がぜんやる気が湧いてきた。
Yeah, I know. Boy's actually carrying on this conversation, not even breathing hard. Quote unquote, he's recovering. Not really. I take a breath and pick up the pace. Osaka knows very well that I have Saber in my arms, but she keeps taking us through narrower and narrower paths. It's a good thing Saber's so light, but falling to Osaka is a trial all on its own.
喋ると舌を噛むぞ。黙っていてくれた方が俺も助かるんだから、おとなしくしていてくれ。
Yeah, fair enough.
はい。それではマスターの指示に従います。
Saber relaxes in my arms. She was tense earlier, which made carrying her harder, but now it's a bit easier. Problem now is whether Saber and I will make it to our destination. I don't know how long we've been running. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Running doesn't take a lot out of me. I've been training hard and Saber is so light. But right now, there's something wrong inside me. The more I move, the dizzier I get. I feel I'm about to throw up. I have to say, just don't do it on Saber. It'd be quite awkward. I would have understood if I'd been bitten by a snake and the poison was doing a number on me, but since we're in the forest, but this pain won't bring me to my knees. It's just a heaviness in my chest and a need to throw something up.
Not do it on Saber.
Right. And it's nothing compared to the heat I'm feeling in my arms right now. Saber's closed her eyes as if she were sleeping. She's not resisting. She's relaxed. Her body is growing hotter by the moment. Her clothes are damp with sweat even though it's the middle of winter, and she's tucked her head down to hide her labored breathing from me. It'll be a repeat of that one night. The night Saber collapsed from exhaustion after using her noble phantasm against Ryder. Saber's condition hasn't changed since that night. Was she able to talk until now because she was just in the brief window before she disappeared? Reminds me of that one meme of the point of view of a doctor right before, like, point of view of a doctor with the family and friends of a patient recovering. And it's like Squidward having the hollow, dead eyes, and then it's Patrick and, or not Patrick, but Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob celebrating as whoever was on the bed recovering. And it's like, oh no, is this the brief phantom recovery where it's like, oh, they're doing so great, and then they go right off the hill, and that's a wrap.
You're gonna have to show me that one.
I'll find it. Remind me to do so after stream. I probably will forget. I run in an attempt to prevent that from coming true. I don't care what happens to my body. I move my feet as fast as I can, hoping that we can do something, as long as we make it home. Oh no. I very nearly trip and skid to a stop, leaning my back against a tree. I taste blood.
SonicStop.mp3.
Exactly. So that's where the nausea is coming from. None got on Saber since it was just a little bit, but the source of my nausea churns in my chest.
考えようによっちゃマシだけど
Uh-huh. I don't think that would be her concern.
I feel like she'd be very concerned with the fact you threw up blood in her face.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. What is your impression of Saber?
Concussions?
You know what? Correct. That is the correct impression. See, Saber would be pretty upset about the waste of food if I threw up. Actually, knowing Saber, she might well cut me in half for it. Yep, that's funny. A bit of levity lends me just a little more energy.
いいえ、無茶をするのはここで終わりです、シロ。
セイバー
Ah, time to tag out? She wasn't asleep. Saber speaks up from where she lays in my
なん
arms.
だよ終わりって何が
ですから、シロは一人で逃げるべきです。その体では私を連れて行くことはできません。
You are our only way of winning right now, woman. Please use your head.
そんなことあるか今のはただ転んだだけだこんなの別にどうってこと
あるわよ。そんな死人みたいな顔で何言ってるんだか。
I was wondering whenever she was going to chime in. Hey, the Sokka's come back for some reason.
強がるのは勝手だけどね。いくら夜の森だからって口元の血ぐらい隠しなさい。それじゃあセイバーに心配されるのも当然よ。よかった。リンがいるのなら話が早い。でしょうね。セイバーの言いたいことはわかるわ。時間もないことだし、そこの大バカにもわかるようにさっさと言ってやって。
Yes, break it down. Saber nods.
はい。リン、私をここに置いていってほしい。私 私を連れていては逃げきれないし、何よりもう長くは持ちません。
I can't really insist she's being ridiculous. Neither of them needs to remind me how much worse Saber's getting. Saber won't last long. I have the sense she won't make it until morning, the way things are going.
そう。で、シロはこのままセイバーと心中する？
まさかそんな気はないし、セイバーは消えさせない。セイバーが消えるって言うんなら、レイジでも何でも使って。
Use your command spells to do what? They're powerful, but they're not all powerful.
オーケー、それならいいわ。じゃあ両方とも解決しましょう。
Okay. Have a solution.
セイバーを助けて、ついでに3人でこの森から脱出する。今後の方針はそれで決まりね。
Me too. If you had this solution, you should have told me like yesterday before I got kidnapped. I wouldn't have left the house. And got kidnapped. My brain feels like mushy tofu. Ugh. So Sokka's
The damnedest things, and always so casually.
girls just say the darndest things. No, let me stop.
ちょっと待って。そりゃ確かにそうしたいけど、それができないから。
Come on, man. Do you want to save or do you not? Choose.
いいからこっちに来て。言っとくけど、私も簡単にセイバーを死なせる気はないわ。ええ、この機会は逃さない。あなたにはその責務を果たしてもらう。シローもいいって言ったし、そうしても構わないわよね、セイバー。
Honey? Osaka looks towards Saber meaningfully. Saber doesn't answer. Instead, she averts her eyes awkwardly. Once we pass through the exceptionally tall trees, something unexpected comes into our view.
廃墟。
ここならしばらく身を隠せるでしょ。来るときにね、アーチャーが見つけておいたのよ。万が一の時の隠れ家にしようって。
Homie, always coming through. Trees choke the ruins. Only one of the rooms on the second floor remains more or less intact. The windows are miraculously undamaged, and the brilliant moonlight casts the room in a pale glow.
ほー、割合綺麗じゃない。もしかしたら最近まで誰かが寝泊まりしてたのかもね。
Foreshadowing is a narrative device.
Indeed, indeed.
She says, knowing darn well this isn't gonna foreshadow shit until next fucking game.
Huh? Oh.
You're not gonna remember. It's fine.
You said next game, not even next routes? Hold on. I caught that. Lord. Nothing phases this girl. Osaka steps over the rubble and pats the bed near the wall with both hands. A whole bed, too? Dang.
シロこっち。セイバーを寝かせないとまずいでしょ。人に抱かれているのって結構体力使うのよ。
ああ、今行く。
I lay Saber on the old beat up bed.
どう？苦しいセイバー。まだ体を動かすのには問題ない？ええ。シローがここまで運んでくれましたから、まだ体を保っていられるようです。そう。ならあとはこっちの問題だけか。
Okay.
あれから1時間。イリアスフィールが追ってくるにしても、もう少し時間はかかるわ。探すのに手間取れば、朝方ぐらいまでは隠れていら
It's
れ
a
る。
long time for Archer to fight, though. Like,
Yeah. But you know what? This is why he has spent the past several days recovering. He hasn't had any action in quite a while. I believe in him.
he finally has a chance to cut loose.
Yeah, especially no one's observing him. He can really cut loose. Not as much as he would like to, since he doesn't remember his identity and thus his noble phantasm, I think. But as much as he can as the amnesiac,
I believe in him.
or maybe he remembers something. We don't know.
We don't
Maybe
really know how much he remembers.
yeah,
He was a
like
little busy antagonizing us.
true. But yeah, maybe during while he was convalescing, as they say, he remembered some things.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I will trust my elder, I guess.
Yes. Trust. TM. She's just reminded me of something. We'd run as far as this ruins, but what happened with Berserker and Archer? He stayed in the castle to hold Berserker off. It's already been an hour. Archer should have retreated from the council by now.
トサカ、あいつは
Osaka doesn't respond. She only presses her right hand to her heart like she's clutching something precious. That's enough to tell me what happened to Archer. Osaka's command spell is on her right arm. A master and their servant are connected. In the same way Saber was able to detect when I was in danger, a master can sense whether their servant is alive or dead. There we go.
トサカ、あいつは
まあね。足止めだけでいいって言ったのにさ。あいつ、最後までキザだったな。
No. We need another pep talk. How will we become the man that we're supposed to be? Silence falls between us. Feels like the silence will last forever, but then
けど、無駄になんかしない。アーチャーを失った以上、バーサーカーはここで倒す。
all right, she said, and thus I took that personally.
We had a matching red color scheme and everything. He's gonna pay.
Right? Which is really funny, though, considering it's like, if things had gone properly and she did manage to pull Saber, like Saber would have had her blue motif going on, and Ren's got her red, and it's like, yeah, they would have been aesthetically clashing a little bit, you know?
Okay, knowing her luck, she would have ended up pulling Nero instead of Artoria.
Fair enough. That is an option. There are, in fact, other Sabers. You right?
One that even looks just like her, just wearing a different color dress.
Wow, that's crazy.
we will discuss Nero Claudius at a later date, assuming we get to those games.
We probably will. Or at the very least, I'll watch the anime for it. I definitely plan on watching the anime for this as soon as I finish it. I can see good old Ufotable cooking.
Okay, well, like finish the book first. Don't.
Yeah,
not
that's what
just
I
one
mean.
out. Okay.
Yeah, I meant the entire thing. Don't worry, because I know that that's a lot of spoilers.
Yeah, because the first anime that covers this route actually spoils the next two because they mix some things in, because they only got one shot.
You know what? Fair enough. Go big and then see if you get greenlit for more.
Oh, they got greenlit for the next route's movie, but
Yeah, I feel like I heard
Studio
that.
Dean, you could have done better.
Hmm.
I think it's funny about the fact that I like the Studio Dean anime. I do. I want to make that very clear.
Okay.
But people really fucking love Ufotable. So
People really do love Ufotable.
that's all I'll say on that.
Their animation always so clean. Like they have performed witchcraft with all the Demon Slayer stuff. Okay, cool.
悔やむのはここまでよ。悩んでいる暇があったら行動するのが私の信条。ここまで来たらあなたにも覚悟を決めてもらうからね。
All right. What's the decision?
覚悟って何のだよ。
決まってるじゃない。イリアスフィール、バーサーカーを倒す覚悟よ。
Okay, yeah. Make the resolve in my heart to win. Yes. I agree.
セイバーを連れてたらこの森からは出られないし、彼女を自然に回復させるにしたって時間がかかる。どのみちイリアに追いつかれるわ。
Yes.
わかる？私たち3人揃って森を出るにはバーサーカーを倒すしかない。
Correct.
それができなければ私たちもアーチャーの後を追うだけよ。
Yeah.
まさかを倒すだって。
I know it's a hard concept to understand, but it's possible.
Especially given
Theoretically.
Zeus actually has plans.
Yeah. This isn't a wild encounter and you are walking through the tall grass. Nah, this is a gym battle. We got plans. We have intel.
We've scoped out the competition well enough by this point.
Mm-hmm. That monster? Defeat that invincible whirlwind of death? I can't imagine that being possible.
What did Archer just tell you, boy?
Literally. His final pep talk, in fact. Christ. We fight, we die. Well, if you don't fight, you definitely die. So you might as well go down swinging. If you must go down. Come on now. Simple math. Osaka should understand that perfectly herself. Is her plan still to defeat him? Even knowing that?
違う。
What am I saying? Osaka's not saying we can beat it. She's not so blindly optimistic.
そうか。
We're not going to beat him to win. I should have realized that from the very beginning.
倒すしかないんだな。
Yes. That's all there is to it. If we don't want to die here, we have to defeat that monster.
そういうことよ。けどそれほど絶望的な状況ってわけでもないわ。いくらバーサーカーだってアーチャーと戦った後なら何らかの傷を負っているはずよ。 私だってとっておきの宝石を全部持ってきてるし、セイ
Or
バーさえ
two,
回復
she
すれば
says.
だから
I
一つ
know.
や二つは作り出せるわ。
Girl said, "We got this so much in the bag that I can even come up with a backup."
逆に言えばね、バーサーカーが傷を負っている今こそイリアスフィールを倒せる最大の機会だと思わない？
That's true.
けど
Making a lot of
肝心の
assumptions
セ
here,
イバー
Red.
を回復させる方法があるのか。
I mean,
こん
it's
な場所じ
Archer.
ゃ
He would let
満
us
足な
down.
治療もできないんじゃ。
ううん、セイバーの治療に場所は関係ないわ。
Yeah, exactly. She's a spirit. It's not like, hey, I need a hospital bed, an IV drip, and insert medications here. It's not a regular human being.
セイバーは単に魔力切れで弱っているだけだもの。一定量の魔力さえ補充してあげれば、あとは以前通りの能力を発揮してくれる。
Yep. Osaka's explanation reminds me of late last night. He said that Saber's magical energy was almost gone, which is why, to restore Saber's magical
い
energy,
い？セイバーを助けたいなら、セイバー自身に人を襲わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。
Munch and Crunch.
なら答えは一つよ。レイジを使いなさい、エミエ君。それで最悪の事態は避けられるわ。
I have 2 command spells left. I'll use one to make Saber attack people so she can devour their souls to replenish her magical energy. Saber won't recover. We can't defeat Berserker. If we can't beat Berserker, then he'll kill us. I look at Saber where she lies. We're just letting her suffer at this point, but we're also in the middle of a forest. Where are you gonna find some people to snack on?
いや、父さんか。それでもセイバーに人を襲わせるのは反対だ。
Yeah, I guess that too.
今回は私も同意よ。
Oh, okay. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
So what's plan 2?
Yeah, yeah.
これが他の場所だったらその提案をしたでしょうけどね。
Right. Because, you know, what I was just saying about being far away from civilization, where are you going to find some people to snack on?
でも、ここはイリアスフィールの庭の中。人の魂なんかどこにもない。あの城の中には、バーサーカーとイリアスフィール以外の誰かがいるかもしれないけど、
I would not
それを
recommend
探
eating
しに行
those
く
two,
の
by the
は
way.
ミスミス七に赴くようなものよ。
Oh, the maids?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Aside from magical indigestion, you would piss her off.
yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Bless you.
Thank you.
食べ
Magical
させるために
indigestion.
は外に出なきゃいけない。本末転倒になるってことか。
Osaka nods. I'm relieved not to have to make Saber attack people, but then how are we supposed to replenish Saber's magical energy?
でもどうするんだ父さんか。そもそも俺がセイバーに魔力を補充できないから困ってるんだよな。
Yes, the conventional way, but some tells me there's a unorthodox an unorthodox way. There we go.
方法はあるわよ。その昨日ってもう一昨日に説明したでしょ。サーバントに魔力を分け与える方法は共有の魔術とそれ以外にわずかな方法しかないって。あの時はまあこんな状況になるとは思わなかったから言わなかったんだけど。
Ah, so you were withholding information to keep me from making an informed decision. I see. I try to think back to our conversation that night. Now that she mentions it, she said something like,
召喚時にセイバーとパスが通っているはずだからまだ 方法があるかもしれないけど。
I think that's what Tosaka said.
思い出した。パスは通ってるから魔術以外の方法があるとかなんとか。
Right? Her face. Or did I get it wrong? At the time, I was shocked to learn that I had to make Saber attack people, so I might have misheard her.
トサカ、なんか方法があるのか。
まあね、私がサポートできる範囲で2つ。この状況だと荒っぽい方になるわ。
Okay. What are these options?
いい？セイバーの魔力不足は素人のパスが不完全だからよ。彼女を回復させるにはこのパスを完全な形に通し直すしかない。
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Rebuild the path, then you can actually send energy through. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Logical.
確かにそうできれば一番なんだろうが、俺はパスの通し方なんてわからない。
Yeah. Saber summoning was messed up from the start. If I had been able to make a connection to supply her with magical energy, we wouldn't be in this mess.
話自体は簡単よ。素人セイバーを共感状態にして霊的なパスをつなぎ直すだけ。契約破棄や最小間以外にパスを修復するためにはそれしかない。
Okay. So how do we do that?
そのためにセイバーにシローの魔術回路を移植するの。
Oh, okay.
This is very specifically a circuit transplant, not a crest transplant.
Right. Because,
Important difference.
he doesn't have a crest, so he wouldn't be able to do that one anyways. But, yes. So, before we continue, if we're transplanting all of his circuits, are we going to include all of the faulty ones because he rebuilds and starts from scratch every time, or are we just including the ones that are actually quote unquote live and working?
I say we let her explain.
Of course. But that just came to mind of man's got a lot of magic circuits. They're just not all functional.
You're cooking, you just don't realize how yet. Let her finish.
Exactly. This is why recipes are useful. Or at least writing down what you did. Transplant my magic circuits to Saber?
セイバーとシローのパスを新しくするには霊的に重要な器官を移植するしかないわ。
Hello, Blank Mane. Thanks for the follow.
Welcome.
サーバントとマスターが聖杯の力を借りているのなら、それに匹敵する強い結合を生み出さないとパスは通らない。
Okay.
そのためにはマスターの魔術回路をサーバントに移植する。それくらいやらないとシローの力がセイバーには届かないから。
Okay. Carry on. Magic circuits. An indispensable mechanism for mages that uses Odd to activate mana. It's the core of a mage's existence, and without it, the magical energy that serves as the source of a mage's power can't be created. Well, lucky for him, he can just transplant it all and just start from scratch and just rebuild everything. TM.
That's a very big theoretically.
Yeah, to a mage, their magic circuits are more important than life itself. They see them as the thing that gives their existence value.
サーバントの回路をマスターに移植するのは危険すぎるわ。ゴーストライナー、 それも英霊の回路は死にゆく人の体に移しても強烈な拒絶反応しかもたらさない。
Okay, so what if it wasn't a dying person?
I
Because she quite clearly said dying person instead of just person in general.
keep in mind what she says about trying to do it the other way, where it's servant circuits to a master. By the way,
Right.
that one actually becomes relevant in a route,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but you'll forget by the time we get there.
I will specifically remember it. I will not.
And ever and ever.
We'll see once we get there. Like 6 months from now. If even that.
そうなると残された手はシローの回路をセイバーに移植するしかないってこと。
Okay, okay, this makes sense. I'm still curious about what the second option is, because she's just telling us option 1.
でもそれは張り巡らされた神経を引きちぎられることと同じよ。そうなればその負担は
Entirely on the one offering the transplant. That makes sense.
If it's just pain.
He's ready to game. Ripping out nerves is the same as amputating fingers or even arms.
待ってくださいリン。それはあまりにもシローに。そうしないと誰も生き残ることはできない。あなたなら分かっているはずよ、セイバー。
I gulp as quietly as I can. I have to get my priorities straight. We don't have time for me to hesitate when what needs to be done is clear.
トサカ、それは成功するのか？
成功させるわ。でも成功させることはそのまま安全につながるわけじゃない。
Well, no one asked for neither of those, so let's get to work.
失敗させるつもりはさらさらないけど、成功すればシローの魔術回路はセイバーに奪われる。むしろ失敗した方がいいんじゃないかって思えるほどの喪失
Just
感
who
と
the
苦痛
hell
を
do
生む
you
でしょうね。
think I am?
Right.
You think I care about being a mage?
Right. I literally only did it because my dad was one. And that was just more of a, since he could do it, I want to be just like him.
もし魔術回路を奪われれば、それはシローが
You become a muggle. No, stop. That would mean that my secondary nerve, my missing magic circuits, would be like a piece torn from my psyche and would damage the spiritual body's integrity, creating a fatal flaw in me as a mage. Interesting. I'll never regain that missing piece for as long as I live. My hope of becoming a full-fledged mage from experience alone will die. Yeah, he'll be aight. You just need to remake it.
And
That's
this
my
is
headcanon.
This is why Rin was so hesitant in the first place, because to her, being a mage is everything. She
Yeah.
can't possibly picture that someone like our boy here exists who really would just choose to do this instead.
Yeah. Zero hesitation. Okay. That makes sense. Once I lose my foundation, my magic circuits, I will always be incomplete, no matter what. I nod for my own sake. Is that all? I'd rather save Saber.
よし、やろう、トサカ。
早っ。決断が早いのはいいけど、本当にどういうことなのか分かってるの？
Her expression.
分かってる。トサカ、教えてくれただろ。
分かってるわけないじゃない。いい？セイバーを救うために、私はシローに魔術師として死ねと言ってるようなものなのよ。 なのにどうしてそんなに反論もしないでうなずいて。
What is there to question? What is there to object to?
だから反論はないんだって。
Plain and simple.
遠坂の考えた最小の計画だからうなずくんだ。もっと自分の計画に自信を持てよ、遠坂。そんな風に慌てるとこっちが不安だ。それにそうしないとセイバーはバーサーカーと戦えないんだろう。
Quite true.
そうよ、そうだって言ってるじゃない。
So, what's the problem?
だろ。それに俺たちには犠牲がないわけじゃない。あいつが稼いでくれた時間のためにも戦って勝たなきゃいけない。
His stance told me to go. I didn't like him, but if he was willing to risk his life to protect his master, Tosaka, I can't back out now.
いいわ、始めましょう、シロ。
セイバーもいいか。俺の魔術回路を移植するってことなんだが。
はい、それがマスターの判断なら。
I hear neither affirmation nor denial in her voice, but her eyes seem filled with regret. I guess Tosaka is going to prepare us for the transplant. I don't know the procedure, so I just have to leave it all to Tosaka. Goodness, words. Reading
まずは
hard.
セイバーからね。シロは魔術回路をオンにしたまま、できるだけ心を乱さないように待機してい
Empty
て。
your mind.
I close my eyes and switch over to the artificial nerve in my body. This picture every time. The one line and so many dead branches. Or unused branches, shall I say. Thanks to Tosaka's instruction, I've been able to turn my circuits on and off effortlessly. A red flower entangles with the red flower. With the white flower. I don't know how it got two reds there. Anyways.
You were seeing red.
I guess so. Tosaka climbs up to straddle Saber, who lies still. Then she begins to run her fingers freely along the curves of Saber's slender form. Give someone the boots real quick.
Goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye, red piece.
Be gone with ye.
待て、遠坂。お前、セイバーに何をする気だ？
Caressing her. Nothing more, nothing less. What's the problem?
何って、セイバーにもリラックスしてもらおうと思って。セイバーが力を抜いてくれないと成功率が下がっちゃうし。
This seems like it would do the opposite of help her relax. Are we gonna forget that King Arthur was married to Guinevere? Like...
Yeah. Yeah. But she doesn't know that.
I suppose you're right.
She's just like, massage. Calm down, relax.
ああ、そういうことか。悪い、続けてくれ。
He sounds so meek here. Oh, sorry to bother you. Carry on.
どうも。
Anyways, as I was doing, caresses.
それじゃあ服を脱ぎましょうか、セイバー。
Pardon?
Why did I know that that was coming?
は
Should have been. Nani?
Huh?
いちいち驚かないの。脱ぐって言っても一部だけよ。魔術回路の移植は精神と体の融合よ。できるだけ接触を多くして遮蔽を少なくしなきゃいけないでしょ。
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Osaka is completely calm about this. Saber and I are the only two who are flustered about this as Tosaka begins undoing Saber's collar.
待ってください、リン。それでしたら自分ででき。腕を上げるのも辛いくせに強がらないで。はあ、それともエミヤくん、マスターの責務としてセーバーを自分で脱がせたいとか。
Would leave me out of this even be the appropriate thing to say?
No. You get teased regardless. The only answer I can think of that's halfway not inviting a terrifying follow up would be you got this, girl. Go ahead and turn around. And then just continue to empty your mind. And do not pay attention to any sounds that you hear behind you. I want to call her a fool, but I snap my mouth shut. All jokes aside, I'm not suited for a task like that. If I had to do it, I wouldn't be able to maintain my composure. That's true. Like at that point, you might as well hold on first. Magic circuit off, because he definitely would have lost control and shredded his insides again.
Well, when you put it like that.
Yeah.
すまない。そっち任せた。
よろしい。そういうわけだから白も脱ぎなさい。
Yeah, that is what she implied earlier. As much bodily contact as possible, with the minimum amount of obstructions.
は、上着脱ぐだけでいいから。下まで全部脱いだら殺すからね。
Oh, okay. I'm surprised. I can't tell if she's joking or being serious. The answer is yes. But it seems like I'll need a strip to connect with Saber, though.
白、お願いです。しばらく背を向けていていただけないでしょうか。
わかった。準備ができたら言ってくれ。
I turn away and fold the shirt I was wearing. I try to distract myself and hide how nervous I am by folding the shirt up neatly, sleeves and all.
大丈夫、セイバー。はい。だいぶ楽になりましたが。
I need to calm down. I try to get my fear under control as I find myself dreading how painful and difficult the magic circuit transplant will be, and how it might fail. This is just a step along the path. I should be more worried about the fight with Berserker that comes after this.
いいわよ、白。
ああ。
I forget to breathe. I've seen her bare skin before, but I've never seen Saber like I'm seeing her now as she lies in bed. It must be all this tension in the air. It's not just me. Saber is acting weird too. She acted normal when I saw her bare skin before.
Right, the
シロ
towel.
こっち
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, that's right. She just calmly said, I'm using the bathroom right now. Please leave. And that was it.
ここに上がってセイバーに覆いかぶさって
It's like someone else is controlling my body. I'm walking towards the bed, but it doesn't seem real to me.
セイバー同調までは私がやるわ
Sympathizing.
それからあとはあなたにお願いするけど持っていきすぎないように注意して少なければ少ないほどシロの負担は減るから
Okay, okay.
わかりましたお願いしますリン
I have no idea what they're saying. Right now, it's all I can do to breathe. Get even closer. We're so close, our skin is almost touching. I feel Saber's weak breath on me. I support my weight on my hands, my body so close to
変
hers.
革準備
Oh, it's
Don't
untight.
look at me, mate. That's not that's not my language.
Yeah.
実質棒が接続開始
I wonder how it must be for like someone who actually knows. I think I would assume that this is German. That actually knows German reading this. Like, does it actually translate to something reasonable? Or is it just cat brown dog? The
You're gonna
element of
find
wind.
one. Eventually, you're gonna get to one of these chants where it's in English, and you're gonna go, "This doesn't make as much sense as you think it does." That's roughly the equivalent for German.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. Absolute nonsense. It just sounds
It's
good on
absolute
paper.
nonsense that kind of vaguely makes sense if you think about it way too hard, but the second that you realize how hard you're thinking about it, you're like, why would they need to?
My favorite thing. Don't think about it. The moment that you do, you lose. The chant begins. I tried to focus my consciousness on what's happening, clear my mind so I can sympathize with Saber.
小さく小さく小さく小さく
Morgan.
円環航路開始
I only see Saber's face. She's already in a meditative state. I can't keep my eyes open forever. I reluctantly close my eyes.
大きく大きく大きく大きく愛路行動連続閉鎖
My senses begin to fade. It's the same floating sensation as when I create my magic circuit every night. The feeling of my ego, my mind, leaving my body. This time, though, it's running in reverse. Normally, I feel that sensation coming from my back, but right now, my consciousness is escaping from my chest. The five senses are functions associated with the physical body. The moment my consciousness leaves my body, I lose my sense of hearing. But my ears are more sensitive to Saber's breathing. Her slow, Steady breathing begins to speed up. I hear the heart pounding in my chest. Blood rushes through my veins. I leave the vessel known as Shiro Miya and slide into her body. That was certainly a choice of words.
It most certainly was a choice of words.
My consciousness sinks deeper into her. Myself swirls and converges, invading her as a solid crystal. This really is a choice of words.
I'm about to grab a tiny chair to whack him with. Just a little person-sized steel folding chair to whack his consciousness with. Not him, his consciousness.
Yeah, because that's who's narrating right now. I agree. Oh, gosh. A pulsing, hot breath. Our hearts, not our bodies, touch.
シロ
Her voice rings out like a bell. And in response, my essence escapes my physical body. My senses are transformed. I have no hands, no legs, no self. But I continue on in despair state. Time seems to flow backwards. Instead of flying, I feel as if I'm being left behind. Well, alright. I accelerate. The body, persona, order, all become an arrow, shattering every barrier around me, destroying the boundaries that separate one person from another. Sparks race along the circuit. I freeze in the ecstasy of reaching the speed of light. Whoa. Is this magic? Magic circuits? Well, he's in the background. Let's say a person's life flashes by in a single instant. Flashbacks are cruel. Every instant passes by in the blink of an eye. I can't look at it directly, so I find myself going emotionally numb. So this is a mental journey. I'm reminded just how comforting our physical bodies, our anchors, can be. I visualize the foundation of Magecraft. The human operation is quantified. Hundreds of institutions, millions of joints form a circle. The endless complex patterns are, in fact, just a highway formed by a single repetition, all heading into the vastness of the future. It's like a vehicle of some kind heading towards a darkened city of light. Here, in the present, my thoughts pass by at the speed of light. Eternity passes in an instant. I pass through the last boundary. I break through and I am Cider. I see a glimpse of Artorias' magic circuits, not my own. The changes are extreme. The speed and light of the world vanish all at once. Here it is dark. Here it is heavy. The pressure of it pushes against my bodiless form. The air is so thick, I might as well be underwater. My body sinks, feeling only the agony of being clamped in a vice. The path is deep, and I can't see the bottom. I feel myself fall through the the thick twilight plummeting deeper into an even denser darkness. It seems impossible that just a moment ago I traveled 10,000 miles in the blink of an eye. If I could walk out, well, no, was it 10,000 miles? 500?
5,000.
Yeah, 5,000. There we go. I was like, what is that song? Okay, 5,000. Not quite 10,000.
Yeah, because he sings it once, he sings it twice. To be the man who walked 10,000 miles.
Ah, there we go. So that's why it came to mind. Thank you. Thank you. uh, now, even going a single mile seems like it would be an arduous, eternal journey. I feel neither light nor hope. Are these really Saber's magic circuits? They're completely different from mine. One might even say she's built different. The shape of the circuits, the number of pathways, all that differs from person to person. This is unlike anything else. This isn't a matter of scale or ability. Saber's magical circuits are fundamentally different from a mage's. The path rumbles. Every time it does, my tiny self nearly shatters. I don't know what Saber's magic circuits are like, but I can tell the sympathizing magecraft is functioning properly. This is not a failure. The dark, heavy pressure of this place doesn't seem like Saber, but it's also not an impure place. It's brimming with life. The flowing air is blood and a swirl of magical energy. I realize I've forgotten to breathe. I haven't needed to. Thinking is painful, but it's not life-threatening. I look up into the darkness I've sunken into, but I seem to be past the point of no return. I can't see anything in this darkness. I'm submerging gradually, but the distance ahead is infinite. The air grows even heavier. My rate of descent slows yet again. I squint into the darkness. The seemingly endless road does not have an end. Oh no, it does have an end. I feel the heat of Saber's body. I feel her every breath. So close. The final destination.
No items. 3 stock.
Exactly. Incoming challenger. I reach the source of Saber's magic circuits, the center of her mental world. But what I see is beyond my capacity to understand. It's the core of a star. Insert Nicki Minaj song here. I've reached the embodiment of some impossible scorching heat, breathing from the depths of the earth. Whoa. The fiery red surface swirls, and then there's a splash, like stagnant mud. At the bottom, there lurks a giant shadow, its fiery eyes fixed on the tiny intruder. Whether its master gave the intruder permission to enter or not, it's still a foreign invader. In the face of this core, my own consciousness is barely a mote of dust to disturb its function, or a piece of wood to feed its fire. I gulp, even though I have no throat to swallow with. I take in the entire scene. These are Saber's magic circuits. A heart beyond anything human, so different from ours, which we imagine as lines and circuits. This is a reactor core. If a mage's body is a machine for creating magical energy, then what I'm seeing now is an entire factory. But the core is inactive. The key that should activate the core, the spark of power to bring the whole thing to life, has been cut off. Despite the overwhelming ability this core has to produce massive amounts of magical energy, it lacks the initial charge to activate itself. It floats overhead, a stagnant sea of fuel. No matter how much undiluted magical energy fills this endless space, it's useless. It needs to ignite. Even a tiny spark could do the trick, so long as the pathway for magical energy is connected. The core will roar back to life. And to do that, something beyond human knowledge awakens. Pathways running over the lake of magical energy begin to swirl. Red air explodes upwards in a raging pillar. Is this what it's like to stand in a thundercloud? Enter the dragon.
Are you aware of what King Arthur's last name was, by chance?
I feel like I do, but it's not coming to mind.
Pendragon.
Yes, that's it. Yes. And then also they did mention the dragon symbol that would always be on their gear as well.
Either
Like,
a dragon or a lion. It goes either way. Like,
yeah. So, yeah, this tracks. This tracks. Which now makes you wonder, if we had to do this for every other servant, who will we find at their core?
who do we know the names of again?
We know our dear Lancer.
Right, Cuchulainn.
Yeah. We know our dear Ryder. Well, no, we did not actually get Ryder. We got the
We
name
didn't
of...
get Ryder. All we got was her mount.
Yeah. So, run that one back. Toss it out the window. We know Hercules. Bazaka kills him.
If we go off the names, Cuchulainn would probably be a hound, just because that's literally what that's just what the name fucking means. It means hound.
Yeah, that tracks. Mm-hmm.
And
Literally got that dog in him. No, let me stop.
well, you know, he killed a dog in its youth and thus had to take the place of that dog for the rest of his life. So
Yeah, see? Perfect. Exactly.
Heracles, despite what Hercules the movie would have you to believe, he was not named after Hera because, you know, Hera was his mother. He was named after Hera so Hera wouldn't smite the little brat.
Yeah, exactly. Because Lord have mercy, Zeus be doing what Zeus be doing. And that's illegitimate, having illegitimate children. There we go.
I feel like it would probably be the Hydra. Either the Hydra, maybe Cerberus, actually, just on account of it's his uncle's dog.
Okay. I can see that.
It's also a very funny, special, once-in-a-lifetime occasion to just be like, hey, uncle, can I take Spot out for a walk, please? So yeah, Cerberus, fun fact, the base for the word does roughly translate to spotted.
That's crazy.
He literally named his dog Spot.
A tale truly as old as time. A dog named Spot.
A tale as old as death.
Yeah, that's true. It's not quite time because it is not quite as far back as Chronos. Unless there's a hidden story that people haven't found yet. Yes, Chronos had a dog. Named him Sunspot. Nah, let me stop. No, that'd be a Helios type of joke. But anyways. So intense is the roar of the raging waves that I don't even properly hear it. Wow. In the same way something too massive can't be properly seen, the roar is its own kind of silence to me. Wow. What appears at the heart of that blazing core is the embodiment of every threat mankind carries in their hearts. How many wings you got, buddy? Or is that just detail on the one wing? It has been.
Looks like 4 legs to me.
Yeah. Dragon got a lot going on. It has been said that the king is a red dragon that symbolizes Britain.
Whales, that's right.
Yep. Phantasmal blood runs in their human veins, the child of a sacred star. A dragon, a ruler, the symbol of so many phantasmal species, objects of both awe and fear, the pinnacle of all beasts, appearing at times as a demon, at times as a god. This is what lies in Saber's subconsciousness. Its otherworldly form suits the servant said to be the best. I really like the wing blocking and then him just peeking around like peekaboo. The cauldron opens. Vicious fangs are all I see. There can be no resistance. Humans, which paled to insignificance before this, could never defend against it. No human intelligence could ever conceive of a way to escape. Oh. It must be famished. It devours its prey, which would normally seem as inconsequential as motes of dust with its bloodshot eyes. And I am at a complete loss for words. So is this how the magic circuits are being consumed? I see.
Literally taking a bite out of them.
Looking like a snack. I wonder, why do we not eat living meals? It's obvious. We cannot bear to see our food alive. We prefer fresh food, but rarely do we eat anything alive because we feel it's cruel for our food to suffer. In other words, killing the meat we consume before we eat it is our way of preserving its dignity. A scream of rage tears its way from my throat. I forget who I am and roar like a beast. I try to appeal to the beast. The hatred builds within me. My only resistance is bearing my emotions. I beg for mercy like a crucified sinner as I'm ground into meat. Oh,
Good
ground to
effect.
meal. There we go. Huh?
That was a good effect.
Right? My consciousness grows hazy, muddled. Every purpose and meaning in my life falls away. Any hope of retaining my sanity is as long gone as creation itself. Pain, the pressure, they're far, far too much. And then, when I came to see it only as a monster, even once I learned of this hell, I believed I could endure it. The image of Saber, her head hanging low, comes back to me. I recall the meaning of this pain. That meaning drives me forward. It is a literal, painful reminder of what I came here to do. I draw in a deep breath and let go of my resistance. It's not the dragon's fangs I should be fighting, but the pain twisting through me. I'm not here to run from the pain. I'm here to save her pain, to live up to the trust she's placed in me time and time again. So, I'm here to give her the best thing that I, who has no hope of fighting, can give. Ah, yes, loading screen music. Or main menu music, shall I say. I will not ever be able to start the game again the same way. The pain is indescribable. I can't reach out to my ground down consciousness. I hone my awareness like a blade, silently, as if I were asleep. Here, eternity is but an instant. As long as I can endure this pain, even for an instant, my consciousness will remain. Alright, then I won't let myself feel an ounce of fear. I shall dedicate this pain to you, who will be there, who will be the one to fight. Ever just jump started a star?
Oh yeah, that's basically what this is.
Mm-hmm. I'm forgetting what series that same exact scenario happens of stars starting to die and then they do something to jumpstart and then it's like boom boom and then it starts shining normally. But yes.
I mean, Avengers Endgame came to mind first. Or no, it was Infinity War actually.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. The pain instantly fades. The red dragon is gone, and my consciousness gradually floats back to the surface.
Look at all those circuits, by the way.
I know. Am I weightless because I lost something? As if I'm floating back up to the water's surface, I feel myself begin rising up above the reactor. But wait. There's something I want to check before. Ah. It's so warm. A dull, throbbing hum issues from the reactor as it burns with a golden light. The elaborate gold magic circuits shine with a rainbow hue and begin their circulation. The fire is lit. I may be an untrained amateur of a mage, but today I feel fulfilled my role as her lord. I surrender my body to the wind and float upward. I catch a glimpse of a distant memory. A figure holding a sword and a figure standing in a grassy field as it dances in the wind. Which one did I find reminiscent? Ah, achievement. Magic circuit transplant. I feel sunlight on my eyelids and slowly open them. Dazed and confused, I check over my own body. My arms and legs are fine. I don't see any wounds. Maybe the pain faded the moment I was able to endure it. My physical wounds and even the mental scars seem to have been healed. Yeah, that's that good healing factor. Giving Wolverine a run for his money. Or something.
シロ、
Keep, keep.
I hear a weak voice from under me. Huh. The feeling of her soft skin immediately makes me realize who's speaking and the position we're in.
Ah!
Ah, that's funny. Saber's lying on the bed with her blouse in disarray, while Tosaka is sleeping, cradling her knees to her chest. Tosaka may be fine, but Saber's been under me like this the whole time.
おはよう、セイバー。
Nice response.
はい。おはようございます、シロ。
We exchange awkward pleasantries. Saber slowly gets up and rearranges her blouse. Crap.
We're so embarrassed we can't look each other in the eye. So, okay, I'm gonna hold up the timeout motion real quick. So,
Uh-huh.
here's why I know Twitch disagreed with the idea of actually calling this Ménage à Trois. Because
Okay.
In French, it literally means household for three.
Oh.
In colloquialisms, it means threesome.
Oh, that is very funny.
It would have been so perfect if they let us do it. But
Yeah.
I know why they didn't.
And I would say translate to another language, but one, it would probably still get caught, and two, it wouldn't hit the same.
Ménage à Trois is just that famous a phrase, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
For the record, in the original version, they don't have this little awkward pleasantries afterwards. It's literally just cut to the next scene. What do you mean they added this after the sex version? Huh?
Excuse me?
Oh, wait, right. No, there was no original version. What are you on about? Carry on. No, just having sex was the second thing she didn't talk about. That's what it was.
Okay. This makes sense. That is always the mana transfer method. If all else fails.
Something about exchanging body fluids.
Mm-hmm.
Just in reality, just give her some blood. That's probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah. Yes.
guess-
Blood transfusion.
I mean, I guess technically nerves is like a step above blood, but still.
Yeah.
But at least in this regard, it makes a lot of sense as to why also Rin was so hesitant to even bring up the idea, because this is so much harder than just having her kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you saw what he went through every time he had to do this, right? Like, it
Mhm.
would have been easier to just have her kill somebody.
It would have. And from Ren's perspective, 100% of the time in the same situation, she'd be like, I hate to do this, but
Archer, go kill someone. And Archer would be like, okay, I guess we're killing people today.
yeah. Because he too would hate it, but also I understand the situation. I will do what needs to be done.
You know, It's like how Brad Williams said when his boss / best friend watched him walk into a ball pit to get after a kid, and I quote, I guess we're beating up 6-year-olds today." Brad Williams, for context, is a dwarf.
Amazing. I guess you're beating up 6-year-olds today. A perfect out of context thing to post.
I'll put it.
Perfect, thank you.
もう起きられるようになったんだ、セイバー。
But I do like that they added this in though.
Yeah,
The nice
sure.
little morning after pillow talk.
Yeah, no. Give the pillow talk to the version where they don't even actually sleep with each other.
Yeah, you know, they gotta keep things
Uh,
realistic.
Nasu, when I fucking get you.
Oh gosh.
はい。魔力の供給を受けられるようになりましたので。
We're in business.
Yeah, she seems to be back to her normal self. When I carried her here last night, she was so weak. Seems she might disappear in any moment. But that weakness is gone now.
そうか。よかった。成功したんだ。魔術回路の移植は。
はい。ですから服を着ていただけませんか、シロ。その格好のままだと。
Girl,
私になぜ
please.
か話しづらい。
I looked down at myself.
そうか。そうだよな。そうだった。
And before Ren, completely awake this entire time, just pretending to be asleep, chimes in. I hastily reached for my neatly folded shirt. That was nice of Tosaka to fold it up like that. Wait, no, I did that. Why did I fold it so tight?
My brother, you were stressed out.
Mm-hmm. I vividly recall last night's ritual. I connected with Saber, and Tosaka transplanted my magic circuits deep within Saber. Saber looks like she's back to normal, but what happened to me? Tosaka warned that my body and mind might not be able to handle the loss of magic circuits, but I don't feel much damage, nor any huge sense of loss. I was a little a little scared, but I checked on my magic circuits myself. The idea of seeing for myself just how much I've lost is terrifying, but we're heading into battle against Berserker. I need to understand my own condition. Ah, yes. Some of the lines are gone. The rest, perfectly intact. As expected. I don't know how to explain it. The overall function of my magic circuits feels sluggish, but there doesn't seem to be any obvious damage. I was chewed to pieces, but my magic circuits are still intact. Looks like I'll still be able to do my strengthening magecraft.
そうか。これって。
That means I too am built different. I assumed the magic circuits I barely used were the ones Tosaka took. I only activate about 1 to 4 circuits when I do strengthening. Since I can't do large-scale magecraft anyways, I've never fully activated all my circuits. Yeah. So she transplanted the circuits I don't use to Saber. And it looks like there's still a lot left.
シロ。
I close my eyes to assess my situation. It seems this won't affect my strengthening magecraft. But the sluggishness, like I'm wading through water, is because my capacity for magecraft has decreased. In exchange, though, I feel that I'm connected to something important deep inside myself. I can't tell exactly where it's coming from, but there's a faint line that connects me and Saber. I've gained something truly important in exchange for my lost circuits.
申し訳ありません、シロ。
Saber speaks up from somewhere behind me.
シロの回路を得る際に必要最小限に留めるよう努力はしました。
Girl, you could have took more. I'd be fine.
ですが、その最低限の量ですら人から得るには多すぎた。もしやシロに消せない傷跡を残してしまったかと思うと、謝罪の言葉も見当たりません。
Man, people just have this really bad problem of assuming they know everything about me.
Which I guess that makes sense that she wouldn't necessarily know, because one, they didn't have a connection beforehand. And even now it's just the one line. She doesn't get like a blueprint of all of his circuits before and after whatever.
And like even more so, she's been in minimum 2 wars before, right?
Yeah.
So all she knows is what a normal mage looks like.
Exactly. And it's like, from what I took, that would have crippled those fools. So, a fair assumption. However, incorrect.
これは私の不覚です。私が書くも力足らずでなければ、シロには。
Just don't respond. Just turn your circuit on. It'd be funny.
Just turn them all on, blast them. Go Super Saiyan right here in this room.
Now, that would be interesting, because like he said, he literally has never done that before.
そもそもの原因は俺が魔力の供給をできないでいてセイバーに迷惑をかけていたからだろ。でもそれもこれで解決した。これからはちゃんと魔力の供給ができる。
Yeah.
これで本当に胸を張ってセイバーのマスターだって口にできる。
This is true.
ですが、シロ。
俺の魔術回路のことは気にしなくていいよ。どうせ使わないものみたいだし、むしろない方がスッキリする。
Have we even seen him use more than one?
Yes. I think.
But it was 2, right? Like it was 2?
I want to say, and from his own internal dialogue earlier, he's only used up to 4 previously. So, yeah. He's got so much excess. Because every day for the past X amount of years, he's been creating a new circuit.
And
Do the math.
Let's be realistic here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even with all those circuits that he makes every single day, quote, quote,
Yeah.
not all of them stay in there. Let's make that clear.
True.
Like,
True.
he
Some of
doesn't
them are
have-
failures, and
They just kind of disintegrate into his nerves or whatever, so like...
yeah.
There's a number in my head. I don't know if it's right, and I'm not going to check, but the number in my head is 27.
Okay.
I'm not going to check. I'm willing to be wrong. I want to be wrong, even.
I mean, I'm not going to check either. 27 sounds good to me. Saber's expression remains clouded. I told you what to do. Just turn on your circuits. Tell her that you can still use magic. Yeah, there's nothing to say. Just do. Just do it. Anyways, crap, I never know what to say at times like this. Saber's recovered, and I survived even after the loss of some of my magic circuits. Saber's magic circuits. The dream of lights and wind and Saber in her youth. And on top of that, we spent the night touching, skin to skin.
The fact
Uh-huh.
that she's more flustered about cuddling him overnight compared to literally anything else. Perfect. Beautiful, even. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Truly a maiden at heart.
And it's extra funny because she was married. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what you mean you never cuddled Guinevere? Hold on.
See, that's the problem. It's not Guinevere. This is-
It's not Guinevere, it's random Japanese boy number 17.
Not the number 17. Oh, fantastic. Calm down. Calm down. That was the ritual for our survival. I need to calm my mind. If I don't focus, I can mess up during battle. Still has not told that, yes, my circuits are fine. I can still use magic. Come on, dude. The sleepy rhythm of Tosaka's breathing halts and she grunts. Looks like Tosaka's awake too.
おはようございます、リン。
よう、遠坂。おはよ
She fucking yo her.
I love it. I see Tosaka's hair shift, then her head tilts up. She's not a morning person at all, and doesn't look her usual sharp self at all.
う。サンキュー、遠坂。ちゃんと成功したぞ。
はい。私の魔力の補充はできました。ですがその代わりシローに。
Come on. This is where you interject and be like, actually, I'm Gucci.
いや、なくなったのは3割ぐらいだと思うから大丈夫。
There we
これく
go.
らいならなんとか。
30%. That's crazy.
3割ですか。
Her face. He's like, hold on. I could have took more?
なんとか最初にとどめたというのに、それでも3割とは。我がことながら、なんと強欲な。
Oh. Oh,
For the
she's
record.
taking it the wrong way. Uh-huh.
For the record, that means she ate like 8 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, whoop-de-doo, he lost 8 circuits.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
how will he ever... Anyway, just make a stove right now. Do it. Make it.
Right?
強欲か。そうだな。腹ペコだったにしても、もう少し行儀よくしてほしかったな。
Boy,
Sure.
please.
Do not tease the night.
This is not the time. I love it. I love it. Fantastic.
Oh, she's so mad. It's not even her usual mad either. She's mad.
And a little pouty as well. Tosaka joining us helps dispel the awkwardness between Saber and me. Now we're back to normal.
そう。じゃあ、いいわね。
Tosaka yawns and gets to her feet. It's almost time for the battle. Battle promised in the opening cutscene. Somewhere in that forest, Berserker and Ilias Field await. If we don't defeat that hurricane of death, everything we did last night was for nothing. The connection that was created between me and Saber deep in our hearts to protect what we created will have to defeat the most powerful enemy of all. Interlude. Ah, so therefore we do get the interlude, I'm assuming, of Archer. The battle comes
tail
to
end.
an end. Okay. Oh, the actual tail end. All right. I was hoping we'll at least get to see him one final time. Cries. The two, the battle comes to an end. The two fought fiercely, and it ended with the disappearance of the Red Knight. Ah,
He did all that?
well, to be fair, some of it definitely was Berserker. Like that giant gash on the right side, that's definitely his giant cleaver.
To be fair, though, we don't know what happened. All we
True,
have at the end of this is that this is what the fight looks like,
true,
and it is
true,
currently morning.
true.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, they say.
Picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I don't think it's actually morning right now because we had confirmation that Archer had lost right before we did the ritual, and it was still nighttime then.
True enough.
Yeah. Or at least like early in the morning, like let's say 3 a.m. or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Floors are cracked and broken. Many of its walls have been knocked down. The stairs have collapsed, and broken marble is scattered across the floor. There is hardly a trace of the reception room's original form. Some might even say time itself has been stolen from the space. After such a vast destruction, the scene bears no resemblance to what it was just 2 hours ago. Okay, so they fought for 2 hours. Okay, so that means they've managed to run for 2 hours and rest at the ruins. So that means that they actually made it further than we thought, probably.
Probably.
Like, probably not quite an hour and a half away, but somewhere around there. I bet. Because, you know, with Shiro, like, I'm gonna carry you, and it's like, no, don't carry me, and then actually carrying, and then coughing up blood, and that whole discourse, you know, that had to have killed a good chunk of time.
The kid made it far, though.
Yeah. Never underestimate the stubbornness of this kid.
Don't underestimate a ginger.
True. True. Ginger's, in fact, built different. That's why I made Arito one. Not knowing that that was actually the correct choice for Nuzumaki. Which makes me laugh every time. I just decided that on a whim. And it wasn't until like a year and a half ish, maybe even 2 later, whenever I was reading like a one-shot manga about Minato and I know it starts with a K, but Naruto's mom. And basically, whenever they were younger and Minato was actually creating the Rasengan and figured out like how to actually create that, and it mentioned that, yeah, Uzumaki's red hair, and I was like, huh? You telling me that past me is a genius accidentally?
Always, every single time.
Man, can't beat that. sculpture, well suited to such destruction, stands in the middle of it all. Yeah, if only he was a sculpture. Where's the Gorgons at?
I-
Standing over 2 meters tall, it bears the crude likeness of a man, as if roughly hacked out of stone. It hardly bears mentioning. This is Iliasville's servant, Berserker. The giant doesn't move. Its entire body is splattered with red, with several holes torn through it. Bruh. Not a single inch of the giant's body isn't wounded. 1. Both legs appear on the verge of collapse. 2. A massive gash on the neck. 3. Arms practically hanging off the elbows. 4. Something has pierced it from shoulder to groin. Dang. 5. Blood gushes from his chest. Dang. 6. His belly is torn open. Man, we're still not done here. Oh, okay, we are. Never mind. Berserker is not moving. He will. It's clearly a corpse.
6 lives, by the way. Remember, he has a stock. Like,
I do recall you mentioning that. The only reason why I know that he has such things is because you mentioned it. The battle
Keely
itself.
mentioned it too, or rather, we read about it.
Yeah.
Ow, fuck, ow.
Stop hurting yourself.
I didn't even do it that time. It was my eye.
Subconscious too. Stop hurting yourself. The battle itself lasted less than an hour. Okay, so the battle itself lasted half an hour, but we are 2 hours later now. Okay.
Brother still had to recover.
Yeah, which is what he's doing now, I would presume. The results unexpected. Berserker's master is beside herself. She should be picking off what remained of her prey, but instead she just stands there, staring at the devastation.
That's right, I remember now.
何だったのよ。
It was in a dead end that she specifically mentioned his stocks.
Yes.
Okay, we're on the same page. Because, like, when would it have come up?
Yeah.
Listen, Ilya, we have no idea.
Yeah, we'll probably pick that up in another route, hopefully. Her voice is a low grumble now, or a low mumble now. The battle came as a humiliation to her, which, makes you just say, imagine if Saber was in peak condition. Quote unquote, easily put a no diff that guy.
Because you gotta think of it from her perspective, too, right? Hercules, the
Yeah.
man himself, got mollywopped.
Yeah, by this no-name archer that's out here dual wielding swords. Yeah. Her servant is the most powerful. Among all heroic spirits, maybe 1 or 2 could compete with Hercules, or Heracles, the most renowned hero of all time. And yet, some unknown archer defeated him. The Red Knight fought on equal ground with Berserker, and in the end, even killed Berserker, which nobody else had even thought possible. And for that, he can never be forgiven. To Ilya, it's as if she's been stabbed in the heart by a passing insect.
Am I the only one picturing a little beetle just crawling up to you and pulling out a tiny knife?
Yeah.
A human-sized knife. A human-sized knife.
Comically sized. Oh my gosh. That is an image. That is an image. She prided herself on being the strongest master. For her to lose to the sort she should have so casually trampled must be unthinkable. Oh, I was just waiting for it to be like, this is so frustrating, and then like kick Berserker and he just falls over because, you know, he's barely standing. His knees or legs or whatever is barely holding him up, just snaps. Thud. Oh? Okay. Well, there goes all his stock. Man, what a homie. Ran through all the stocks, which implies that there shouldn't be any left, but everything complete comes in 7, so he probably got one more for our fight with Saber. But it would be really funny if he just didn't revive here, and like Shiro and Tosaka and Saber, they're like, Berserker's coming, we're ready for him, and the day passes, he just never arrives, and they're like, oh, I guess we'll just go home. And they just start walking home, and they never hear from Ilya again. That would be hilarious. A little anticlimactic, but hilarious just the same. The statue doesn't answer. It has neither the time nor the need to do so. Oh yeah, that explains why it was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, so those were the 6 deaths that were inflicted. Okay. Okay. Or 6 beatings, not necessarily deaths. Anyways, the statue doesn't answer, has neither the time nor the need to do so. Berserker stands still, focusing on healing himself. Even for him, this was an unusual battle. His noble phantasm nullifies any attack. So long as the attack is not of the highest possible class, it won't so much as scratch him. As such, he rarely sustains any wound. In his own time, none could harm him after he attained greatness. And here, now, he's been hurt 6 times. Archer delivered 6 fatal blows. Each of his attacks were of a different sort. That is because even the strongest attacks won't work twice on Berserker. Strange as this battle was, the most truly bizarre part was, if Archer was a hero with so many different abilities, his identity should have been obvious. Good point. But even after his body was pulverized, Archer's identity remained a mystery. What was really surprising was how he carried himself in a way that seemed contradictory as a servant. A faint light flickers in the pupils of Berserker's eyes. Were Berserker a normal, rational servant, he would probably feel pretty bad about how this battle went. Whatever his identity might have been, Archer was a rare and formidable adversary. If only Berserker's sanity hadn't been taken from him, he would have fought to his heart's content and maybe even enjoyed himself.
許さない許さないんだからよくもここまで私を侮辱してくれたわね
Ilya's voice echoes in the shattered hall. Whatever tiny embers of rationality might have been returning to him are immediately snuffed out by her voice. Dang. He's just Berserker now. His role is to overwhelm and annihilate his master's enemies.
傷は治ったのバーサーカ
I don't think so. Like, he's got light in his eyes a little bit, but I think he's still got at least 5 fatal wounds still healing. Berserker doesn't need to answer. So long as the wound doesn't kill him, he'll heal in moments. But to completely recover from this would take as much as 3 days.
そんなに待てないもういいわ今すぐあいつらを殺しに行くわよ
And that gives us our chance for victory. As the saying,
Thanks, Archer.
right? As the saying goes, haste makes waste. The giant silently objects. It's almost instinctive. At least when it comes to a fight, Berserker has instincts similar to Saber's. He can certainly destroy his enemy easily enough, but if Saber has recovered enough that she can use her noble phantasm, that will be a different story. Berserker will not fall to a mere sacred sword, but there is always a small chance of something going wrong. His instincts tell him that he should be completely prepared before facing the servant.
何よ5つもあれば十分じゃないあんな
Oh,
奴ら
he has
ゴッド
one.
ハンドなんかなくたって敵じゃないもの
Even without your god hand. LOL. Okay, so therefore...
6 plus 5, 11.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where that math was going. Carry on.
I mean, I did the same exact math. I was just like, all right, what was the total amount? 11? All right, cool. Now we know. Good talk.
それとも何ここまで私たちをバカにした奴らを見逃してやるっていうのバーサーカー
Well, you see, mistress, I am Berserker. I have no such feelings. I just destroy, and I would like to be in optimal form to destroy. Please and thank you.
そうでしょ誰一人として私の森からは逃がさないわうんミンとセーバーはバーサーカーにあげるね殺すなりもてあそぶなり好きにしていいわ
Ilya hops down from the stairs. She walks through the rubble of the exit without a moment's concern for Berserker, bloodied as he is. But suddenly, she stops, as if remembering something.
さあ狩りを始めましょうバーサーカーだけどセイバーのマスターは簡単に殺しちゃダメだよシローには一番ひどい死に方をさせてあげるんだから
Wow. Just casually laying it out there. Ilya heads out of the castle, giggling happily. Like a kid that just got told by her parents that they're going to the store to buy a new toy. The sun is about to rise. Ilya knows the forest like the back of her hand. She won't have any trouble finding her prey, even if they try to hide. Her targets only have minutes to live. Interlude out. And we're back at the ruins. I don't know why, but I'm forced out of the ruins. Why are you trying to stay there? What do you mean you don't know why? Oh, okay. I see. So Sokka kicks me out saying that girls have to make some adjustments and changing and stuff like that. I see.
くそ、何言ってんだ。男だっていろいろある。
Oh,
Like what?
goodness.
Makeup?
Yes. Shiro, he definitely wears makeup. He's got to be his namesake, you see. He's got to put on his foundation. But not the kind that's what was it? Full of mercury? I think that was what the
Mercury?
original
Yeah.
powder. Yeah. Not that stuff though. That'll kill you. This new age stuff. I lean against a wall as I grumble. I guess I sound like a sore loser, and that's exactly it. I remember. And then I try to shake off my desires. I can't think about that right now. If I keep lingering on my memories with Saber, I'm a dead man. More than anything, it would be rude to Saber. I made contact with Saber to save her. I shouldn't have any other feelings for Saber. What a crook. Or crock. Such a pathetic excuse. Even I don't believe it. I can't forget what happened with Saber, but I need to. For now. Honestly, I don't have time to worry about that kind of stuff. Our concern right now is how to fight Berserker.
そうだ。自分にできることをやらないと。あいつだって最後にそう言ってたじゃないか。
That's what he said. Ah, we get to see him one final time. All is right in the world. I think back to Archer. I never warmed up to him, but every word he said stuck with me. I stare at a tree branch. There's only so much I can do. I may not be much help, but I'm going to do whatever I can, as best I can. For starters, I snap off a nearby tree branch. Then I try to find other straight branches.
終わったから入ってきて。
Tosaka's voice reaches me in my search. I head back to the ruins, carrying the branches I collected. Well, the only other problem is whether I can act anything approaching normal around Saber after looking into her heart, however briefly.
こちらです、シロ。リンから話があるそうです。
I guess I was worrying over nothing. Saber is her usual self. Unlike me, immature as I am, she's probably just approaching this pragmatically.
ああ、今行く。
Damn, I'm not gonna let this get me down. I'm so damn dumb being the only one blushing over this, so I'm gonna do my best to keep my composure.
来たわね。それじゃあ作戦会議を始めるけど、会議って言っても口論し合う暇はないわ。
Correct.
バーサーカーを倒す方法も限られているし、とりあえず私の話を聞いてもらえる？
Saber and I not.
作戦としては単純よ。まともな方法じゃバーサーカーとは勝負にならない。
Correct.
勝つためには奇襲。仕掛けたのなら反撃させずに一撃で首を落とすのが絶対条件だと思う。
Sounds good.
同感です。バーサーカーと打ち合ったところであれには致命傷を与えられません。
打ち合いの外からって、バーサーカーが俺たちに気づく前に先回りして襲うってことか。そりゃあいつと正面から戦うのは無謀だけど、そっちの方はもっと無謀だ。あいつが奇襲なんてさせる玉か。
ええ、バーサーカーに気づかれずに近寄るなんて都合のいい作戦はやらないわよ。
Yeah. He may be a berserker and consequently a quote unquote dumb brute, but he still does have his fighting instincts.
He is still Heracles.
Exactly.
あっちにはイリアスフィールがいるんだもの。少なくともセイバーとシローの気配は簡単に感知されるわ。私は気配を隠せるから大丈夫だ
Stealth
けど。
mode, don't fail me now.
I don't understand the logic, but I get the sense Ilya can detect me and Saber. That's literally what she said. Good job, you were paying attention.
Pat pat.
And if Tosaka's the only one who can conceal herself,
奇襲をするのは遠坂だって言うんじゃないだろうな。
当然でしょ。一番に狙われてるのはシローなんだし、この中で一番動きやすいのは私だもの。隙をついて後ろからバッサリやるのは任せなさい。
okay, okay. So how are you going to strike him?
後ろからバッサリって、バーサーカーがそんな甘いわけないだろう。
そりゃそうよ。だからセイバーに隙を作ってもらうの。セイバー、体はどのくらい回復した？
Yeah. What you sitting at? Where before was roughly 3%, where are you at now?
通常戦闘ならば問題はありません。ですが、宝具の使用は避けるべきです。
Okay, 30%. I don't know. I'm just saying numbers.
今の魔力では、おそらく使った瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。たとえ使ったとしても純度は落ちていますから、バーサーカーを倒せるとは思えません。
Interesting.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device.
But I see. The plan is to win without the Noble Phantasm. We'll see how that goes.
ええ、それで十分よ。セイバーにはバーサーカーと打ち合ってもらうわ。もちろんシロも一緒で、私は隠れて様子を見る。イリアスフィールから見れば私はおまけみたいなものだし、いなければ二人を見捨てて逃げたとか思うんじゃないかしら。
Yeah, reasonable.
はあ、それはまあ可能性はなくはありませんが。可能性が低いならあげて。
Ren's face.
シロはイリアスフィールと仲がいいみたいだし、うまく話せば騙せるんじゃない？
You would have me betray an innocent little girl's trust? How dare you? I am offended. I'll do it.
To be fair, she did it first. How dare you betray our perception of small innocent child?
Get off my lap, you harlot. Do not call little girls harlots. It will not go well.
my gosh. That belongs in the out of context.
Which part?
Yes. The get off my lap, you harlot. Don't call. Oh, just that whole bit. You can separate them, leave them together. Either way, it makes for a good out of context quote.
反論はあるけど引き受けた。遠坂は逃げたって言えばイリアはまず信じるよ。あの子は人の言葉を疑わないと思う。
Indeed.
だとしても問題はあります。私がバーサーカーと対峙するのはいい。ですが、シローに同じことはさせられません。シローではバーサーカーの一撃に耐えられない。
Correct.
誰もシローに殴り合えなんて言ってないわ。シローはセイバーから離れて後方支援。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを押し切るのは難しいから、危なくなったら助けてあげて。
Yeah. Throw a strengthened rock. I don't know.
バカな。シローはリンのように魔術に長けてはいない。援護と言っても何を。
Wow. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
それはシローが考えて。
I like how Ren's like, I don't know either. That's on him. Shiro, do something. Support your girl.
もっともバーサーカー相手だとマスターが介入する余裕なんてないわ。シローだけじゃなくて私だって手を出せばセイバーの足を引っ張るもの。
Yeah?
それでも一人だって遊ばせる余裕はないの。
True.
シローが殺されればセイバーもおしまいっていうのは分かってるけど、ここはそうしてもらうわ。初めから賭け事みたいな戦いなんだから。それはそうですが。
Saber makes a face and falls silent. Since Tosaka's gone quiet too, she must understand how reckless her proposal is. I can't blame them for being worried. The night I met Saber, the night Berserker attacked, the only thing I managed to use to defend her was my own body. There's a strong possibility that we're headed towards a repeat of what happened that night. So while it may be best for me to distance myself from the battlefield, I'm not going to do so unless they force me
分かってる。遠くからの援護は何とかしよう。
to. Dang. Ren, please, you're the one who suggested this. Why are you doubting our boy? Is it really that much of a surprise?
離れたところからセイバーを援護すればいいんだろ。それならなんとかなると思う。
They're just the right length and exactly the right kind of flexibility. It's the first time I've done this kind of strengthening, but I don't think I'm wrong in principle here. Basically, I just need to layer my strengthening until it turns into something substantial. Besides, he has something like this, so I can use it as a reference. On top of that, magical energy has been flowing through my body for a while now. All I have to do is repeat my usual process. I analyze its basic structure and change it. I analyze the material's composition and reinforce it. Ooh, two lines. Starting from the branch, my result should be his bow, but something's missing. Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. He is in fact trained as an archer. Something supporting from a distance he is well suited for.
A religious archer, but still an archer, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's not combat archery, but archery just the same. I need to think of this from the standpoint of creation. If I want to make something as close as possible to the real thing, I need to envision everything I can about it, down to the smallest detail. I opened my eyes. The work branch was the right shape, but something wasn't.
うわ、見ても見つかね
Bruh.
You turned a tree branch into a black bow. Wha- Have a little respect for your work, my man.
Man, that's crazy. I can't wait to see Saber and Ren's faces. 100%. It's going to be screenshotable. It's ugly, distorted, and yet I can tell it will work fine as a bow. Now I just have to create an arrow following the same concept.
Men and their sticks.
白今の
Alright, at least we get one good reaction. I'll take it. And Saber's just like, that's my boy. I am not surprised. Either that or it's just that delayed reaction thing, you know?
ああ、シンジとの一件でなんとなくコツが分かった。遠坂も言ってただろ、力みすぎるなって。
そうまあ手段ができたのはいいことだし今はいいわ
For the
話を
record, they were
戻すけど
shocked that he wasn't gonna fight them on whether or not he should be in the back line.
Right?
You were expecting more of an argument. What?
And think you just out here manifesting a bow from a random branch?
Really pulled in like a golden retriever, a bunch of sticks.
Literally. Back to our original
とに
topic.
かく2人にはバーサーカーと戦ってもらう私はあらかじめ木に登って上から様子を観察してるからでセイバーがなんとかバーサーカーに隙を作ったら死角である頭上からとっておきの宝石を使い切ってバーサーカーを串刺しにする
お
作戦としてはそれだけの単純なものだけど
Alright. Sounds good. So Sokka turns her attention to us, checking whether we have any questions.
宝石というのは輪の魔術ですか
Oh yeah, that's right. He really hasn't been around whenever we were having our Magecraft classes and didn't see the, hey, here's a gem. Now eat it.
だとしても生半可な魔術ではバーサーカーの体には届きません彼を傷つけるには最大純度の攻撃でなければならないのですから
That is true.
分かってる要するに A 判定の攻撃でないとダメなんでしょ
As she says this, Sosaka pulls several jewels from her pocket.
その宝石は私が物心ついた時からために貯めた貯金みたいなものよこれ一つで A 判定の大魔術を即座に発生させられる10個あったんだけどね一つはあなたに使っちゃったわ
The prologue.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because, like, I definitely recall her using her gem on Saber. So, like, Saber should remember this. But then again, back then she was in attack mode and not really, like, what feeble mage craft is being used against me. Anyways, be gone.
そうかあの時の魔術ならば確かにバーサーカーは防げない彼には私のような大魔力はありません魔術であってもそれが A 判定ならば問題なく貫通する
Alright. And she's got 9 of these that she's just gonna shove down his throat.
ことよ。本当は小出ししていこうと思ったけど、悠長なことは言ってられないわ。バーサーカーには特別に2つか3つは叩き込んでやるんだから。
Oh, okay. Should have went with the full batch. Might have been more permanent. Tosaka puffs out her chest confidently. However,
おい、なんか半端にせこくないか、お前。
music, please.
同感です。私が言えることではありませんが、せめて半分使い切るぐらいの気前の良さが必要だと思うのですが。
Oh, their faces. Priceless.
何よ、そんなの人の勝手でしょ。
Playing it too safe is your problem, girl.
私がどれほど苦労してここまで
Yeah.
やったって思ってるのよ。
Well, if you die, it doesn't matter anymore, so best to go big and have to start from scratch than save and not be able to use what's left over again anyways. Saber and I protest silently. Osaka's life depends on this operation too. We can't let ourselves fail just because she's being stingy.
分かったわよ。半分使えばいいんでしょ、使えば。何よ、言ってみただけじゃない。私だってそれくらい分かってるんだから。とにかく作戦はそれだけよ。あとは私が隠れられて、シロがセイバーの援護をしやすい場所を探さなくちゃ。イリアスフィールが来る前にいい場所を見つけましょう。
Yeah. Yeah, we can't stay in these ruins anymore. And like Tosaka said, we need to find a place where we can all lie in wait for a berserker. But before that, oh, a choice.
You know whose route this is. Go.
Yes, it is in fact the Saber route. This is in fact who we're concerned about. Worried about Saber. I wonder if Saber's really okay. She says she has no problems fighting, but wouldn't it be hard for her to go up against Berserker when she's so weak? Or I suppose I'm more concerned about her noble phantasm.
その瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。
That's what Saber said. That means Saber will disappear the instant she uses that attack.
セイバー。
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
なあ、戦う前に一つ約束してくれないか。
ええ、それが私にできることならば構いませんが。
うん、そのさ、どんな状況になってもあの宝具は使わないでほしいんだ。地上であんなものを使ったら大事だし、それにバーサーカーを倒せてもセイバーが死ぬなんていうのは嫌だ。
ええ、分かっています。私も宝具を使う気はありません。今の魔力でバーサーカーを倒せるとは限りませんし、何より消えてしまっては聖杯を手に入れられない。
Quite true. She's as direct as ever. It's a relief to hear.
いつものセイバーだ。うんざりするほど冷静で安心した。
それはどういう意味でしょうか、シロ。
I sense I've made a mistake of some kind.
I don't know what it is, but I've made a grave error.
いや、タイはないよ。いいから外に出よう。 遠坂を待たせると
Still
また
so
文句を
bizarre
言
to
われ
hear
るからな。
Sasuke so cordial.
Yeah.
そうですね。
Aw.
ミンはシロに文句を言うのが趣味のようですから。
It ain't that the truth. It really has. With that kind of weird observation, Saber turns to leave the ruins. But then she trips on a chunk of rubble and stumbles forward. I quickly grab her hand from behind.
足元危ないぞ。散らかってるんだから気をつけないと。
Huh? Saber seems to be blushing.
そういえば、どうした？なんかあったのか？
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが、手を握られていると、
So adorable. Saber's face turns a deep crimson. She must look like I did a few minutes ago. I find myself blushing too now. With her hand in mine, I suddenly remember the sensations I felt within or with Saber, and quickly pull my hand back. The two of us stand rigidly, saying nothing.
外に行ってよ。早く行かないと時間がない。
そうですね。急ぎましょう、シロ。
We head out after that bit of awkwardness. Once we're outside, we'll never come back here. I look back towards the ruin for the last time and then turn back to the battlefield. And that sounds like probably a good place to stop because after this is setup and then battle.
And setup is decently short from what I remember, so
Yeah. So it'll be a nice little segue to catch back up on what happened last. And then we hopefully reach a thrilling, favorable conclusion to the Berserker arc. So with that, good night to the peoples. Thanks for joining.